Hello, this is SMCrotty here with ProGamingTourist.net, bringing you Lissandra.
I've already won the war.
Now, Lissandra is a new champion that just came out, and she's an AP character. She normally should be played as an AP character in the mid. She can also be secondary as a support, but she's not actually a very good support, so she really is just a middle character. So the first ability I'm going to talk to you about is her ulti. Her ulti is called Frozen Tomb, and I'm talking about her ulti first simply because she has double usage for her ulti, and I want you to see the difference. Her ulti is Frozen Tomb. Basically, it freezes the target in place, and it stuns unit around it, and basically it does an area for 3 seconds worth of slow. So, using my ulti on her, see, it stunned the minions right directly near her, not all the way around, and it slowed the area for 3 seconds. So it's a quite nifty ulti. It is different from SMCrotty's ulti, which just basically freezes enemies, because it's really focuses on the AoE factor with the stun with the slow, so it doesn't have that stun everybody, but it is pretty nifty, because the secondary usage, as you will see when it cools down, is it basically is a secondary for Azanya's. It has a 1.5 seconds if you use it on yourself, Alt plus R if you're new to the game. Just Alt plus R and it'll Zanya's, you're untargetable, you're invulnerable, but you can't move. It's not Zanya's is for 2.5 seconds, so this is for only for 1.5, but it is very, very useful because not only do you make yourself invincible with your ulti, but all the other units around you still take damage. Now the immediate units right directly near you get stunned, the rest just get slowed, but they all take that damage, which is very nice. So let's talk about her passive. Her passive is called Iceborne, and every 18 seconds she gets a free spell. That includes her ulti, that includes anything. Lissandra's abilities have a little bit of a mana cost, and if you're not careful, she can be quite mana hungry. So, every 18 seconds you'll see this little hand pop up, and it means you just get a free spell. Let's talk about our Q. Our Q is called Ice Shard, and what this does is basically fires a shard of ice, and it basically has direct damage, and it slows the enemy that it directly hits, and then it breaks into little pieces, and it hits everything behind that target as well. So if I wanted to focus on these minions right here, if I hit the one minion, it will break apart in shards and hit the rest of them as well. This could be quite useful if you take and find your Iceborne and your free spell, and basically I can start just farming not only these minions, hitting those behind it, and if I got a little bit closer I can also start poking away at Sivir. Actually probably shouldn't be in the middle, and it's great for poke as well. It does not have a long range, like for example it doesn't have a long range such as Orb of Deception for Ahri, but it is quite still useful. Let's talk about her W. Her W is called Ring of Frost. Ring of Frost is basically what this does is it roots everyone in place right near you. It increases, it's 1.1 at level 1 and increases all the way to 1.5. This doesn't stun them. They can still attack you and use abilities, but this basically freezes them in place. Freezes them in place, which is quite useful. It still is that adds that little CC, prevents them from running away and or attacking you. It doesn't have an incredibly long range as you can see, but it's pretty decent for a root in place. Her E is called Glacial Path, and this is one of her most interesting key skills that she has. Normally Glacial Path is simply see a little hand come up and it damages everything in that path for a certain number of damage. And that's it. But secondary Glacial Path also, when used, if you press it, you press your E, or if you are a clicker, you click on Glacial Path, and if you click it a second time, wherever the hand is, up to the very end, basically you could teleport to that location. So I say I am out of range of Sivir completely. So I'm going to use Glacial Path, use again, Ring of Frost, she's frozen, there I could use my ulti or whatever other combo I wanted to use, and that is one of the longest range really. If I use Glacial Path and then use Ring of Frost, what this does is that has a 1600 range to it. That is one of the longest ranges in LoL for a gank.
There will be no
I'm not sure if you can
thaw.
actually would use her jungle, but you think about it. Use my E. Terrain doesn't matter. Frozen. And there I could easily just gank her. I could do whatever I wanted to her.
The
Now let me show
Watchers
you
will return.
Frozen Tomb when used on yourself. Absolutely invincible. Nearby units get stun damage, and the works. Another interesting fact is that, for example, if I wanted to gank her, also when I use my flash, then Frozen Tomb on her, that also has a 1050 range, and that outranges Blitzcrank and Amumu. That it really, her basic abilities don't have that long of range except for Glacial Path, but when combined with the teleport from Glacial Path or Flash, it has an incredibly long range. That differs from a lot of different champions because the amount of CC that she has. So she's a very versatile champion. She does do quite a pack a punch, maybe not as much as you'd see any Ari do in an immediate burst, but she does do a pretty decent amount of damage, plus all the CC makes her invaluable to any team fight. Well, thank you. My name is SMCrotty, is Programming Tours, and last but not least, we need to hear the emotes.
I consider frigid a compliment. The world began in ice, and it will end in ice. Is it cold in here? Or is it just me? Surrender. My triumph is inevitable.
Well, there you have it. That is Lissandra. My name is SMCrotty, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and please tune in next time.